Hello, 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 everyone. This is Jacqueline Charles. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy Network. Y'all, when I say we are blessed, when I say we are honored, let me get through the fanning phase right now, because it's like I want the autograph, okay? But without further ado, this is a man that I've looked up to. This is a man I've respected. You know, when we talk about protect our black sisters, we got to protect him as well because he's doing amazing things. You know, not only is he educating us, he's enlightening the ones who are woke but don't know everything. He's just opening up a whole world for us. So without further ado, y'all, oh my goodness, I want to stretch out his. I just want to stretch out, okay? Without further ado, I want to thank Brother Rizza Islam for being on the Women Are Worthy Network.
Yes, ma'am. I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much, sister, for the invitation.
You know, you're a major social influencer. You know, you're a minister of the Nation of Islam. You are the perfect person that we need to talk to about this. Tonight's topic for everyone, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be talking about human sex trafficking. I'm a survivor. I don't know if you know, you may not know. I'm a survivor of sex trafficking. And I wanted to talk about this topic and because you're great at educating people and, you know, just enlightening the crowd. My question to you is, because you're all over social media right now, you know, my question to you is, why do you want to how did you think about, let me get into this, let me educate the people, why this topic?
Well, the first thing I'll say is I'm the youngest of 10 children, and I have 5 sisters on my mother's side, 2 sisters on my father's side. So I come from a big family, and, I love women in the most respectful way I can say. And, I have a lot of females in my family, and I've seen a lot of things, and I've witnessed a lot of things, and with my friends, my environment. So it's inevitable, for a man who actually cares about the woman and the man and family and environment in our nation. I can't not say something or do something when it comes to the protection of our women.
It's $150 billion industry. Thank you,
Yes.
Marcus. Well, thank you accepting who I am. So how can we eradicate this? What do you think we need to do?
First thing is Black men and men in general have to return to their innate natural level of masculinity. It's number one. One major problem is that the lack of manhood and the lack of manhood training, and should I say the strategic removal of manhood and masculinity, have been major factors as to why women are not being protected, number one, and why the environment is in the condition that it is in. So there are levels to it. It's not just the fault of us, the men. The system itself has been a part of it, has been a factor, and it has removed the fathers from the homes, has encouraged drug use, has encouraged drug selling, has put us in a condition to where we feel as though we have no other way to get out, to make money, to do anything of a productive nature. Then on the other end, you have a lot of the women who were not educated, not feeling enough love because the father wasn't at home. So they go out and venture to seek love from someone else, somebody who talks good, looks good, makes them feel comfortable, makes them feel worthy. And then they get caught up in something that they never expected. So on both ends, the men need to be educated, the women need to be re-educated, men and women re-educated and empowered to step back into their nature, the divine feminine for the woman, the divine masculine for the man. And that is how we will collectively come together and come back into that condition of actual family that protects each other, ourselves, and our community.
You talk about the masculinity with the men and the divine feminine in the women. Right now, to me, today's society, everyone is confused. Okay, not everyone, most people are confused. It's almost like, you know, when I tell women, for me, I'm married 33 years, right? And I'm
Beautiful.
and I'm black love.
Come
And
on now, come on.
black love. I'm subservient to my husband. That does not mean that if I walk behind him, and I want people to go back to what it meant to serve your husband. He is the head of my household. Now, I'm not going to get some little, crooked man being you know what I'm saying?
Come
He
on.
has to earn my respect. You know
He
what I'm
earned
saying?
that.
So he has to earn my respect. And also, you have to let a man, look, y'all, I told you I'm gonna be doing a relationship show. We have to let our men be men. We can't, if we tell him to do something, then we all of a sudden want to go ahead and do it. We have to give him his props, allow him to be a man. So as a man, what do you mean your masculine, the masculine energy? Because I think that's confusing to some people. Can you please enlighten us about that?
Absolutely. I'll say from the biochemical area, for example, testosterone, the primary area or chemical within a man that gives him the power drive, while the estrogen on that side gives the woman the level of the comfort, the ability to bring peace and quiet of mind, the consolation, the nurturing. There are natural chemical balances within us both. Now, a woman has a level of testosterone and a man has a level of estrogen as well. But there's more estrogen in a woman, there's more testosterone in a man naturally. And that helps us to collectively come together to bring balance to that overall one, you could say, God understanding, or the feminine, masculine side, twin sides of God, etc., or the human being. But the masculine principle is discipline, it is support, it is maintaining, it is sustaining, it is deep protection and security. It has more to do with knowing how to establish a protective barrier for something that is worth protecting, something that is valuable. A lot of men do this very good when it comes to their car. A lot of the young brothers right now do it real good when it comes to that Xbox, that PS5, all of the game consoles. A lot of people do it for things that are not really as worthy as the woman is, that don't compare to the woman at all. And that principle, that spiritual understanding, that overall condition of what a man is has been slowly removed, has been picked apart, has been confused and manipulated, denatured, to where now to say I'm a man, people don't even know what that really means. A lot of women say, well, I'm a woman. Well, what does that mean? Well, I'll just say it this way again, sister. There has to be a level of accountability on both ends. The woman has to take accountability for not only not being what she can be, but also encouraging men to not be what he should be. So both ends here. You can't say I want a good man, but then you go out here and you encourage brothers to shoot up, stab people, rob, doing all this, but you want a good man. Hold on. Again, this goes back to us being re-educated, because I was raised in a house without my father. So I know how this feels. Yeah. A lot of people didn't know that. No. My mother primarily raised me. It was 10 of us. So there was no, my steady father. No, later on, there was someone who stepped in. But a lot of us came from these broken homes, you could say. But I had brothers, I had sisters, I had uncles and cousins, thankfully. But even that still, there was a difference between having a man around versus a father. It is very specific. So the masculine principle has to be reinfused back into us as men. This weakness that we have encouraged, this, get the money only, this misogynistic attacking the women, she ain't nothing but, she ain't nothing but a bee, we got to kill all of that. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, morally, we have to kill all of that and get back to I am to maintain, protect, and sustain my community, the woman and the children. But at the same time, the women have to allow us to protect them, allow us to do what needs to be done. But again, like you said, you have been married for 33 years to a man who earned it. Who earned it. So we have to earn it. But then the sisters, you have to allow us to earn it. See, it's a give and take. We both have to work with each other. It's a balance. So it's not a forced thing. And on the last point regarding masculinity, you brought up submission and being subservient to your man. Submission is to allow. You're giving power over to by allowing. You're allowing this man to guide you because you trust him. Not because you can't guide yourself, not because you can't do something for yourself, but because you said, I'm going to let you play that role. Like a chess piece. You are the king, I'm the queen. We both can handle business. But I'm going to let you move the way you should move. I'll move how I need to move. But I'm going to, again, allow you to play that role because I trust you and because you earned my trust. And that's what we have to get back to. Again, we've been following the wrong people.
I want to ask you a question, because whenever you're on shows, we're talking about topics. Who is Brother Rizza? Who is he?
Good question. Brother Rizza is a young black man from Compton, member of the Nation of Islam, a researcher, author, Just a brother doing his best to help his people, and then all members of the human family after that. That is pretty much it. I don't, there's no sugarcoating on it. I'm not perfect. I strive to be better every day. And I see the problems that affect our people. I've been working in the community. This March will be 22 years of my life that I have been in community service. So I'm not new to this at all. Long before there was Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I've been out here, and so Rizza Islam is just a brother doing his best to sincerely be a brother.
And I want everyone who's watching and you're sharing the page, you have to remember this brother is one that we have to protect. Someone wrote that in the chat, and that's so true. We have to protect Brother Rizza at all costs. I mean, all costs. Like back in the day when we had Martin and we would put him in the house, we would take care of him, we would feed him. We have to protect this brother right here, because when I say he's our natural jewel, he's our jewel. Let me give you your roses now, my brother, because so often, people pass. You're going to be around for 99 times 99 more years. Okay?
I pray.
But I'm giving you roses because there was a young lady that introduced me into the NOI. And, I was living in Brooklyn and her family was from that. And I didn't quite understand. And of course, being in New York, we listened to a lot of the things with the minister and what people were saying about the minister. But then I started doing my own research. And when I say the things that are coming out in most communities, I don't see it coming out of the NOI. You guys are phenomenal. I mean, this is who we need to you protect, you serve, you do so many things with the people. So I want to make sure that I give you your roses before we get more into the interview or conversation, so to speak, because you need to be protected. And I thank you. You could be doing other things. You could be making tons of money elsewhere. You could be in corporate America doing your own business. You chose to sacrifice. And that's what I want y'all who are listening. We have to sacrifice. We can't wait for the next man. You start in your community. And then and then other people start and they help out, and then it branches out into the world. Don't worry about the world. Worry about your community, and then and then it branches out. So, my brother, when I say that we love and respect you in the most respectful way, we do. Okay, so I'm letting you know this is not for naught. You have people out here that appreciate you and riding with you. You hear me?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Now I can get back with the show. So since you told, what is your hope for our people? Because sometimes when I'm having conversations, and sometimes it seems so hopeless instead of being hopeful. And I'm one of those that I love women, and I wasn't a lover of women because it was a woman that got me involved in sex trafficking. It was a family member, as a matter of fact. And then I started hating women because of that. But I had to get to my true conscious self to realize not all women are like that. So how can we save our community, our babies? You listen to the music that's out there. You're listening, you're watching people who these kids are respecting, and you don't know who they are, man, woman. You have no idea, because you have the acronyms and all these other names you have to call yourself. When I'm just plain Jackie, you know what I'm saying? Right. I don't want to be she, her, we. I'm just plain Jackie, a lover of Christ. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lover of people, good people. The negative folks I ain't trying to mess with. I don't have time for that. So my question to you is, how can we save people? How can we save humanity?
Beautiful question. The first thing I'll say on the spiritual side is we have to return back to the moral principles. Whatever you call God, it, him, her. If you say Jesus, if you say Yahweh, if you say the Most High, if you say Allah, if you say any one of these names, that's perfectly fine. But the principles, what are the principles, the ways of living, the articles that you live by? What are the disciplinary steps that you take towards living your life to be a better human being today and tomorrow versus yesterday? We have to return to those principles. That's number one. Number two, we have to get back to loving self and kind. We cannot say I love everybody, but then I'm not loving my own sister. I'm not loving my own brother. I'm not loving my own child. I'm not loving my own wife, husband, friends, family, etc. Start at home, start in your own environment, start with your own people. Then you can demonstrate love to somebody else, but you can't do that unless you demonstrate it with your own self and kind. Next thing we have to do is get back to realizing who the true enemy is. One major thing that we have a problem with is we keep pointing at each other all day long, not realizing, wait a minute, hold on. The same dog that bit you bit me. The same one that made you ignorant made me ignorant. It may not have been the exact same individual, but the exact same system, circumstance, environment that made it to where a black man will call himself a nigga, call his own sister the B word, and think that that's something educational, that's something real. That no, wait. No group of people attack their own people to the degree that we do, like we do. It doesn't make any sense. And then we get paid to do it. Then we pay others to do it. Then we applaud each other for doing it. And then we act like there's a problem all of a sudden when we're looking at the results of the actions that we were perpetuating and encouraging. See, this cycle of insanity right here has to end. It makes no damn sense. So we have to get back to looking at who the real enemy is. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says that our number one enemy is ignorance. Number one. Number one, what does it say? Ye shall know the truth, and it is the truth that shall set you free. Where you don't know the truth, you will always be a slave. What's the truth? Why are black men hating each other? Why are we hating our own women? Why do women hate themselves? Why are the women hating us? Well, what is it? We are ignorant as hell, and we think we know what we know not. We run around talking so much. We're so arrogant in our ignorance, boastful in our ignorance, and stepping on everybody else in our ignorance, not knowing what the hell we're doing, and everybody else is passing us up. Because we fail to take responsibility for ourselves and our own people. And we fail to take responsibility for our lack of knowledge and our pregnant ignorance. So number one is ignorance. Number two is the system of evil and wickedness. Evil and wickedness. We, as the black community, we know and have always known that system to be characterized in the title of white supremacy. That is the description of how we have known it. That's how we have been able to label it. Is white supremacy. Other people have a different way of saying it. Some white folks call it the globalists, or the top 1% of the 1%. In the Nation of Islam, we refer to it as the 10%. Those who are slave makers of the poor, who use our ignorance against us to make us remain in perpetual slavery. And then, of course, at the very top, we say Satan. We say the evil one. We say, the king of wickedness, evil and darkness. You can, whatever you want to call that. So we have to point at those two: ignorance and then the evil system that we are dealing with, not each other. So we focus on that, and we focus on building each other, loving each other, then we will get back into a position where we will grow as a collective group, as black people first, and then the human family afterwards.
What I'm finding is, like when I hear other women calling each other queen, and I'm very careful calling another woman queen, because what I've noticed with the NOI, what that group has helped me is to always go into the dictionary, read definitions. Okay, I'm telling you, I got this.
Come on.
Read definitions. So when I see a woman calling another woman a queen, but then behind her back, she'll call her the B word, and then I'm saying you're not operating in queendom. So I'm very careful. I'm not loose lips calling every woman I know queen. I try not to do that, because. And here's the other thing I'm finding, Brother Rizza. We're not loving ourselves. How do you expect me to love you if I can't love myself? I first need to know either whether I need to go to therapy or deal with childhood trauma in order to love, because we all look, I have this saying, we're all in the same book. We're just in different chapters. We all got some crap going on in there. We have to fix that, because it's going to manifest into something else. And as Mr. McKinney said, it all starts from home training. So here's my question to you. We have our group, our community has so many single parents, single women who are raising young boys.
Yes.
I try to encourage that we find a man figure, not a father figure, a man figure who's strong enough to support. My question to you is, how do we encourage these women to find people like that to help them? Because I hear women say all the time, I don't need a man. You're a woman, you can't teach a man how to do things. Most little boys that I know, when they're going to the bathroom, they're sitting down. No, you need to stand up when you're doing the number one. You need to stand up. So what do we do? Because it's driving me crazy.
Sister, I'll say the first thing again, going back to that ignorance. Who are you listening to? This is the question that I ask a lot of sisters when I travel this country and the world, to the different events that I have. hundreds and thousands of people who show up. The majority that show up are women, number one. Just a little more than men. I'd say it's about 60% women, 40% men. Sometimes it's 55% women, 45% men. One major question that I ask the sisters is, who are you trying to be? Who are you following? Who are you emulating? Who do you look up to? Who are you listening to? Because the moment you start saying things like, I don't need no man, you make no sense whatsoever, and you are destroying your own ideal ability to be successful overall. No other group at all of women in any culture says, I don't need no man. That does not happen. No, 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 no. Individuals in cultures will say that, but the culture itself does not glorify it. That makes no sense. Why would you attack your own security? That's your security. We're your security. Now, here's the problem. Because of our trauma that you mentioned, sister, the collective trauma that we have as a people, a lot of women have been abused. They've been raped, molested, attacked, not believed. It has happened in families. It has happened with friends. It has been with so many people who they trusted. And it has happened, even if it's just one time, it makes the mind go into an area where it generalizes. The moment we go into generalities, we are less logical. A person who is specific and individual goes into direct key areas and can separate things is more logical. But the moment you have trauma, then you generalize. All black men equals that one black man. That one black man equals all black men. He did this to me, that means all black men gonna do this to me. He said that to me, that means all black men gonna say that to me. He took that from me, all black men. It's a traumatic response. It is a stimulus mechanism. It is not logical. So the first thing I would say for our sisters is to step back and realize that all of us did not hurt you. You never met Brother Rizza. You never met me. But, so we have to get back into stepping back first off and getting logical, confronting our trauma. We have to find someone we can talk to. Not getting on drugs, I don't encourage, but going to a therapist, somebody who you can talk to, even if it is an actual friend or family member who you do trust, and get that up off of you. Get that off your chest. Let them know I'm dealing with this. This is something I'm dealing with right now, and it prevents me from being able to be loved by somebody, from being able to be around a man. I can't even have a relationship with a man because of what I've been through. This is a real thing. Women are not making excuses when they say this. This is very real. And so we have to believe the sisters. We have to give you that chance to heal yourself, not attack you, not try to rush you. More men have to start talking to women, questioning, and giving that room for growth, and vice versa. We have to start treating each other the way we want to be treated. And if we don't want to be treated right, then we should just leave people alone. Because too many people are treating people the way they want to be treated, and they don't give a damn about themselves. So they're not going to treat you right. I don't treat myself right. So we have to get around someone we can talk to. Get that up off your chest. Because every time you walk outside, you're going to see that man who harmed you or hurt you 5 years ago. And it will prevent you from being around any man, prevent you from wanting to love anyone. Then you'll go so deep, depending on how deep the trauma is, how many negative circumstances or situations you've had in your life. Then you'll go so far away from men that you will start to, and I mean no offense by this, but I'm saying psychologically, you will start to develop into the men who harmed you.
Yes. Yes.
Because that is the only way that you can survive. It's what the mind does. That is what overcame me. That overpowered me. If I don't want to be a victim of that, I must become that. And so you start to go into this, vice versa with men too. It happens like this. It's a survival mechanism that the mind goes into on a reactive basis, not a logical one. It's not analytical. It makes no sense. It's not in a calculated way, but it is how the mind convinces itself that this is how I will survive. So these are things we have to look at, things we have to confront and face, and vice versa. Men too have to look at this, because a lot of men have been abused too, in multiple ways, not just the mental and emotional, because more of us is mental and emotional, but physical too. A lot of men have, been victims of rape, molestation, all that. I know when I was younger, just when my sister's friends would be like, oh, look at Rizza, he's so cute, he's gonna be my little boyfriend, my husband. I'm 6. I'm 5. I'm getting applauded. I'm being kissed on by women, and not realizing what that's doing to me. And they applaud it, but let's switch it around. If I were 5'6" and I was a girl, and he's a grown man, like, oh, you're gonna be my little girlfriend, and he kissing it. See, wait a minute. We don't want to talk about. See, now hold on, but wait a minute. But the other side is still creating a negative, premature thought process. So where now children go into this mindset of premature sexual thoughts, sexual activity. You leaning them into that behavior early. You're trying to figure out what the hell happened. You encouraged it. Both women, both of us. We encourage it too much. So sisters have to look at that trauma that they have gone through, separate things. Not all men hurt you. Get around somebody you can trust and start with just one man, even if it's an old man who don't want nothing to do with you sexually at all, who you can just communicate and say, can I just talk to you for a minute? I need to get something off my chest. He could be 70, 80. He's like, oh, go ahead, talk to me. And just reestablish logically, that connection to a man. That way you can build that up and vice versa.
I want to thank everyone for, continuing to comment. We have Brandy Melvin. She said, so true. She also said, so many I was thinking that, Brandy, hypersexualized men in the Black community. That is so true. We have we have the music. We have everything. And, then we leave our young girls to watch these shows. And then, because let me tell you, I'm so sick and tired of seeing these young babies twerking, okay? Whenever I see them twerking, I'm like, just like I won't support videos that comes up on Facebook with women fighting. I'm not watching that, and I'm not supporting these young babies. They're grown. We have a lot of these celebrity moms who have their kids on social media and they talk all grown, act all grown. And then later on, they want to know why they were such an older man or whatever the case may be. We have to stop that. If you're working, if I see women, people that I know have their children, I'm like, okay, spell your first name, spell your last name. What's the capital of Australia? What's the capital of New York? What do you mean you don't know? What you mean you don't know? So those things aggravate me. We teach them these things. They know every word to some of these songs that are out here that is not appropriate or age appropriate. Hell, it ain't even appropriate for me. Okay. These kids know the words of the songs. Brother Rizza, there's so much that we have to do to fix our community. It's not a Band-Aid. I'm talking about we got to dig to the white meat, put the peroxide in there till it starts burning, clean the wound. That's what we need to do. And we got, because the Hispanic community, all these other communities, they get it. They work with each other. They know what to do. Gone are the days, I know myself growing up, if I did something that was, got a little fresh, like I would say, tell someone, shut up. The neighbor would say, oh, I'm going to tell your parents. Nowadays, we are not our brother's keeper, and we got to be our brothers and sisters' keeper. So at one point I said I didn't want to do it. And I said, you know what? No. I am my brothers and my sisters' keeper. If you want to help me out, at least I tried, because I want to be, Brother Rizza, I want to be the person that I wish I had at the age when I got involved into that. So for me, it's a selfish reason, so to speak. If I can help one, because I wish I had this when I was younger. I wouldn't have went down that street. So we have to support each other, It's just so much, I know, under this whole, sex trafficking, but it's just everything falls under it. The community, eating, exercising, getting our mind, getting our mental right.
Yes, it is layered. And you brought up the music, you brought up the hypersexuality. All of this is designed, absolutely. But let us make it very clear of how deeply designed and how strategic and how razor sharp accurate it is. Remember understanding that a traumatic circumstance is a lasting trace on a cellular level. Trauma didn't go away when our ancestors passed away physically. Their genetics transferred into the progeny, their children, their grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. Here we are. So we think we got everything good and none of the bad. You think you got all the genetic traits with the nose and how the teeth are and how the muscular, you think you got all of that, but you didn't get any of the trauma that goes onto the cellular level. This is a study that a number of scientists have been doing that demonstrate that trauma is on a lasting cellular level, which means what? If we go back less than 100 years to the 1920s and 1930s, dogs being sick on our people, water hoses being put on our people. You're talking about the Jim Crow laws and the black codes and all these different things. and what our people were going through every single day. And even prior to that, with all of what they were going through with the rape and the molestation and all of that, the sex trafficking was major back then.
Right.
Major. And we were supposedly freed at this time. All of that is a gumbo mixture that was transferred into the child, then the great-grandchild, then the great-great-grandchild, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now here we are. We think we have no trauma to face. Some of us as a people really think we are all good. We have literally run away from our own trauma so far to where we think we don't have nothing to work on. We're just so narcissistic. Oh, I'm perfect. I ain't got nothing to work on. What? I'm all good. No. You are being bombarded every single day with programming, from the TV you watch, to all the videos you're watching on your social media, to your Twitter, to your Facebook, to your Instagram, to your YouTube, to your TikTok. We are being inundated every day with programming. You're applauding little girls when they twerk. You applaud little boys when he is having a girl bend over, a grown woman bend over, and he behind her dancing and all that. I used to party when I was younger, so I understand, but I didn't go to that. I was not encouraging my 4-year-old cousin. No. See, hold on. Because then when things get to a point to where now things become sexual, I can't just blame the white man anymore now. Not at this point. We understand where it came from and all that, but the trauma is still here, and the situation we're dealing with is still here, and now we are perpetuating it. So at what point are we going to sit here and take responsibility for this? I can't keep pointing at somebody else. Now, on the other end as well, when it comes to the music, the TV, and all of these different things, we can't support our artists who keep perpetuating it and promoting it. We just can't. I love Sister Nicki Minaj. I love, our brothers who rap, and I love them because they are sisters, they're brothers. But when you start to promote things that go towards the destruction of our people, you're no longer being brotherly, and you're no longer keeping with the sisterhood. It has to be corrected. Ain't no Chinese person just letting their people up there, letting their Chinese women get up there and be twerking. The Chinese just removed feminine-looking Chinese men from television. They said, we will not promote or have any man on television who is Chinese, who looks too feminine, who looks too much like a girl, because that's not the image we want. We want a masculine image. Now, some people who are homosexual, they got irritated with that, but I understand from a war perspective, from a militant perspective, I get that. If your nation looks weak, then I can come and invade and overtake it. That's what the image is. It's a military thing. This ain't got nothing to do with your emotions. And vice versa, same thing over here. If all we know how to do is twerk, if all we know how to do is smoke, if all we know how to do is drink, shoot guns, who the hell is going to protect us? Where are our doctors? Where are our engineers? How many of us know how to farm? How many of us know how to cook? Does anybody know how to fight? What the hell is going on? We are going to remain a perpetual slave under somebody else and then complain every single day, but we don't want to do something for ourselves. Where are the teachers? What are we doing? This is what we're not getting. You see, and we can love our people while correcting each other with love. Don't mean I hate you. Don't mean I'm hating on you. Knock it off. We have to be responsible and be held accountable, because at a certain point, most of us don't get it until we have children.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. Then it just perpetuates all over again. Because when it comes to the music industry, for example, most of the women promoting all of the behavior that they're promoting have children. They telling you to be a single hot girl summer, blah, blah, blah. They got a whole man at home. And vice versa with the brothers. He'll be, I got 4, 5 hoes. He married. He got a child. He got a mansion with his queen at the house, with the woman that he kneeled down and started. Come on. Then the record labels are endorsing it, promoting it. And the other thing that I will say is sometimes it's the artist promoting it, and the record label has been fighting with the artist not to promote it, because now even that has changed to a degree. Now it's not just the record label wholesale promoting it entirely. They'll promote it to make money, but a lot of the people in there are telling the artist, hey, can you switch that up a little bit? And some of the artists are saying, no, this is what I'm gonna do. So so responsibility has to be taken across the board, because this system is absolutely benefiting from this condition, but we can't keep perpetuating this. I'm only 31. I'll be damned if we keep doing this for the next 10, 20 years. It can't happen.
Look, Martin is already rolling his grave. Malcolm's rolling, because what they died for us. And let me tell you something. When I tell y'all I'm going in, because Chosen said keep going in, we have Brandy, I guess you're dropping bombs. He's dropping black diamonds. He's dropping jewels. He's dropping everything. Let me tell you another area that I'm frustrated in. Again, y'all, I'm saying it with love, but I'm sick and tired of it right now. The black church, I'm coming for y'all. Okay? I'm coming for y'all because you have single women in the church and you're not helping them find good men, right? That are in the church. In my opinion, not all. So before y'all come to me, let me sit up a bit because this has been weighing on me and I'm sick. And now that I got brother on the show, I can talk. I was waiting for the right person. Y'all pastors that are out there, let me tell y'all how y'all make me sick. Y'all have a single woman in that church, but you want the single woman to serve you, cook for you, sleep with you, instead of encouraging her to, and again, this is me, okay? I am sponsoring tonight's show, okay? So my thing is, I'm sick of it. We go to these churches, we listen to these shepherds with a flock. You go into some of these churches, this one's sleeping with that one, this one's sleeping with that one, this one's sleeping with that one. Then you want to know why. Look, y'all, I'm not encouraging this, but I'm saying I understand. Then you have a man bursting into the church, a husband, a father, whose child may have been molested by the pastor, and then he takes up unnecessary measures in the church. Because I'm being careful what I say now. Unnecessary measures in the church. We got to stop that. We keep talking about when things happen, let's just pray, pray, pray. Prayer without works is dead, y'all.
Come on.
So don't come to me and tell me, well, Jackie, just pray, just pray. Okay, I need therapy. I need this. I've been going to church for a while, and I suppressed when I was sexually, when I was trafficked and all that kind of stuff. And something happened one day. I was watching television and memories kept coming back. The human mind is powerful. Then I went to therapy and she unlocked everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't want this to come out. And then I felt embarrassed and all that. But I realized also I did speak to a pastor and he was like, let's just pray. And I'm looking at him like he lost his ever-loving mind. I almost cut him out. But I said, no, Jack, you can't blast this man out. Again, for everyone out here, I am not saying you cannot pray. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't only pray. You got to do the work. But these black churches, they are, I don't even know what to call them anymore because they're really suppressing what we're doing. Some of them have sold out the whole daggone church.
That's a fact.
30 pieces of silver. Yes, I said it. I'm not going to call y'all out by name, but you know who I'm talking about. And I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Well, let me say this to you, sister, and this is something that is it's a big elephant in the room that a lot of people don't want to say because a lot of them are involved in it, so they don't want to bring it up. There are too many pastors who are homosexual. I'll say it this way. We don't hate our brothers. We don't hate our brothers at all. See, I don't like the pastor who is heterosexual, who, as you said, is abusing 6 different women, got a wife in the front pew, and the woman sitting right next to his wife is the woman he messing with, and the one in the third pew is the other woman he messing with. Wait a minute now. Hold up. See, so whether homosexual or heterosexual, both of it is wrong because you are misusing the flock that God has given you the authority to lead, but you are being a wolf in sheep's clothing. The reason why I mentioned the homosexual part is because the masculinity is no longer there. So you cannot lead. And I'm saying it specifically in this way when it comes to how the system views you. When the system is looking, they are looking for the man who is willing to sacrifice for the sheep, to lay his life down for the sheep, not who will negotiate with Satan. I'm not here to negotiate with Satan. I'm not going to say, let's just pray. Wait, excuse me. Jesus didn't just pray. Let's make this clear. The people he had around him had weapons. Let's make this very clear. Peter had a sword. Now, Jesus was all about peace all day. He wouldn't have people around him with weapons. He wasn't no punk. See, we got to stop with this nonsense, this watered down, soft Jesus talk. Stop that. He had people with swords and he had people rolling with him that, stuff they had to get busy. They had to get busy because you have to be able to protect that which God has allowed you to lead. You have to do that righteously. So a lot of these men in these churches are highly effeminate. So they don't exude strength. And they try to use the excuse to say, well, we walk humbly in the earth. Yes, I believe it is be humble as a dove, but ferocious as a lion. Don't play with me. The book is not to make cowards out of people if you understand it. The reason why in the Nation of Islam, we don't have anywhere near to that degree of what you said, because we're not perfect. Our people came out the hood. We all have been bitten by Satan. So we are all striving every day to be the best that we can be. But I will tell you, sister, when it comes to the abuse of the woman, as you said, a lot of that stuff that goes on, we have laws in the nation. Okay, we have laws. We're a military. So we have the Bible, the Holy Quran, and then we also have these laws because of our military stature of how we are as men. A man, you're not going to get away with just abusing a woman. Not in the nation, you're not. It's not how this goes. We don't condone that. We don't allow that. So that's why, again, the difference between the church and nation, we're more militant. We teach more discipline. We teach more, men should exercise. We are soldiers, head back, shoulders up, chest out, soldiers, because the women need a man. She needs a man. She needs to feel protected. She needs to know that she can walk somewhere by herself down the street if she wants to, and she'll be safe in that environment. But if we ain't got nothing but a bunch of effeminate, broken-wristed men, again, I love my brothers, love our brothers. However, let's just be real. No nation can protect itself with men who don't have strength, who are not in touch with their nature. Now, if you say you want to be that way, that's perfectly fine. It's your life. You can live it how you want to live it. God judges all of us for what we do, good and bad, etc., whatever we want to call it. A liar, God don't like a liar. He don't like a murderer. He don't like a thief. He don't like a rapist. He doesn't like any of these negative things. Homosexuality, the practice of it, he doesn't like that. Doesn't mean you're bad. It's the behavior, all these different things we do that are negative. God ain't with that. So, but the strength of a man has to be reestablished. And so a lot of the women in these churches and a lot of these churches have been abused because of the leadership that has been corrupted. And that is in every religion, that is in every nation, in every group. The problem is in the Black community, it is too encouraged heavily, and it's not spoken about. They don't talk about it. They try to ignore it. If we walked in the church and saw some stuff like that, like, brother, get the hell down. Come down here. Come sit down. You sit down because you are not worthy to be teaching these people. The world is in the condition that it's in right now. Minister Farrakhan said the world is in the condition that it is in because of the disrespect of the woman.
I agree.
And I agree fully as well.
Chris says, sisters in church dressing like sexy secretaries and pastors needing private planes. Chris, I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm just going to keep scrolling because we're not trying to get in trouble. I already got a couple of texts and it's not too nice, but I'm grown. I got this because they're like, Jack, no, I'm coming for these pastors. And when I say I'm going to put my foot in their neck, I'm going to put my foot in their neck. So I'm ready. I'm capable of doing it. Nia said facts. And we have Brandy said exactly, Rizza. Nothing else makes any sense. That is so true. I mean, you could just be getting wonderful feedbacks. So here's the thing. We know we need to support each other. And economic development, that's a whole nother conversation. Okay. This will be a 2-hour talk. That's a whole nother conversation. So we're starting fresh. We wake up tomorrow morning. What's the first thing we need to do? Because the reason someone questioned me because I said something about the Hispanic community. The reason I brought up the Hispanic community is because I've noticed 5 will live in a household, and they all support the mortgage, pay the bills. The mortgage is paid off not 30 years, 10 to 15 years. They help the other person. We don't do that. We choose not to live amongst each other because we don't like. This is a business, okay? We don't like each other. We have to get the emotion out of it.
Yes.
Think strategically, because if you have 5 people or 9 siblings and they're all living in the same city but in different homes, why not buy a 5-acre land and put 5 houses on the land? You know what I mean? Because we're giving so much money to different people, but if we come together, we would be saving money. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, we used to do that. That's the thing. It goes back to the trauma. It goes back to the system removing our economic strength and encouraging us to be separated and encouraging us to attack one another and to trust them and not trust ourselves. It was very strategic on how they removed us piece by piece in every area, from the spiritual, the mental, emotional, the agricultural, and of course the economic. So it was a actual system that was put in place, and it's still in place now. The difference is a lot of us are waking up to what you're saying. And when you mention other communities, like if you said the Hispanic community, if you said the Chinese community, here's the truth. They have the same issues that we have. The problem is we focus more on our issues than overcoming our issues and uniting and building on our success, rather than just focusing on the negative all day long as if there is no good happening in the Black community. There's a lot of good happening.
Of course.
The problem is we just don't capitalize and duplicate the good more than we capitalize and duplicate the drama, the negative, the evil stuff, the stuff that makes no damn sense, the self-destructive stuff. We capitalize and build that up, promote that all day long. While the Chinese community is like, nah, you might do that in the house, but you ain't about to be doing that all over television, all over. Nah, we ain't doing that. The Mexican community has a lot of the same stuff. The rape, the molestation, they got a lot of that. Go back to the Catholic Church. Spain, the Spaniards did it all. Let's not get this twisted. However, that key point that you brought up when it comes to economics, when it comes to economizing, meaning spending less, saving more. If you don't need to spend money on that, you shouldn't. And you should take away all these things so you can become viable. That's why a lot of them will have a one-bedroom apartment. It'll be 4 or 5 of them living in there. Why? Because they understand if 5 of us have a job, all 5 of us living in this one-bedroom apartment, we all get a job. We can all consolidate our checks together, and then we get another apartment next door. And then we do the same thing, get another one next door. Or hell, we just buy the building once we get to a point where we can, then we all establish the business and we keep pouring into it over and over again. See, we used to laugh at them. See, some of us laughed at them. You see a Mexican dude on the corner selling oranges, okay? When selling bags of oranges, selling roses, you laughing, but he making money. He's living in a house where the bills are small because they're all pouring in a small amount of money. Next thing you know, 2, 3, 4 months goes by, and now he's not selling a bag of oranges and roses. Now he's selling chopped up fruit. He has a big fruit stand. He's chopping up fruit, selling it to you, $10 for that little container. Wait a minute, he is making bank. They stacking up money. Now they have a whole apartment complex. Then they have a building next door that's it's a grocery store. Now that you see, hold on. See, you can't laugh. A lot of us don't want to sacrifice. We don't want to work anymore. It took a lot. They did a number on us, sis. They broke us down thoroughly, scientifically, to where now we don't even want to work. We are the greatest builders. We built everything. So now we're at the point where I don't want to work. I just want to be on the phone all day and do videos, things like that. It is a trip. It is a trip. But we have to get back to wanting to work, that manhood, that womanhood, wanting to build, wanting to cultivate family. And it is something that we can start to do right now. Get around 5 to 7 like-minded people. Like my mama says, when you wake up the next day tomorrow, look through your phone and look at the people who you are hanging around. That will let me know exactly how far you want to go in life. The sum total people you have right around you in your circle, who you're talking to in the regular and all that, what they do will let me know exactly how far you really want to go. If you got people, all they do is talk about drama all day long, you heard this so-and-so, all the trending topics, they always talking about something going on with some celebrity or somebody. You're not trying to go too far. You're really not. So you might want to get around people who are on the grind righteously and right, not illegal grind, but on the legal right grind. Get around the right people and get around more people like that who are going to encourage you to build and move forward and grow. That's what we need to do.
Sabrina said the work ethic has decreased tremendously. Chris wanted to know, he said to ask, when did you first join the Nation of Islam?
I first joined, first I was, and I have to say it this way because this is how, there's a lot of people, born in the nation.
Right.
Technically, I was born in the nation. My last name is Islam from birth. Literally, that's my last name. So I was born in the nation praying in Arabic before I knew what I was saying in English. Praying to the east, washing up every morning at 4:45, 5 a.m. That's what I was doing since I was a child. But then you have to go through an actual process of joining the nation. And it's not just so simple and easy. That didn't happen until my mid-20s. I would say early 20s. So it was around, I would say 23, 24 at that point. But I was born in the culture. I would say my mother's Muslim, stepfather's Muslim. always never ate pork. I grew up like this for the most part. You can say within joining the actual nation.
Your mic.
Oh, it went out.
It's like kind of echoey.
Oh yeah, boy, that's how they do.
Look, y'all, we not playing with you. Okay, Meta, we are not playing with you. Okay.
Okay, that better.
No, but we can still hear you. Janelle, okay. Go ahead, finish. So
no,
you're
saying,
we can make it out. We know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it was. But in early 20s is when I actually joined the military, became an FOI. So it was in my early 20s.
Someone said you sound like you're far away. That's what it is, possibly. He's not. Yeah. Look, let me tell you something. Y'all don't understand. When he be on, look, let me break it down for y'all before we close out. When I say they trying to put him under attack, it ain't gonna happen because no weapons will form, but they won't prosper. So if y'all know what I'm talking about, some of y'all know been following him, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, get behind these Satan because we don't want you here. Okay, so get out. So Janelle said other communities view each other as family, so they'll help one another. We generally view ourselves as individuals and not as a community. I'm Jamaican and Cuban, right? And Jamaicans used to always support. We do the susu, we do all of that. Now that has even changed. It's like you do you, I do me. So I'm starting to see more and more of the you're on your own, my brother. You're on your own, my sister. And I start to hear more and more. I remember growing up, I would hear young mothers tell their children, when you're 18, I can't wait for you to get out of the house. In other communities, they want you to stay. 18, you staying in the house. You ain't going nowhere until you get married. You have just been, when I say, because yesterday, some things happened, and I'm like, look, I don't care if I'm in the hospital. We're going to conduct this interview. We're going to have this conversation, and I hope there's, because I definitely want to do some collabs with you because I want to help out with the sex trafficking. Sometimes we have a lot of people doing sex trafficking, but they are being a part of it, but they don't have someone who's actually been through it. And again, most people get involved in sex trafficking through friends. Mine was through family, and I chose to. That's why I created this platform. I would talk to my mentees and they would tell me, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Lady Gaga are their role models. No disrespect, but I said, wait a minute, what about the people in your community? We have celebrities in the community. So my mentees would tell me, but they don't sign autographs. Yes, they do. They sign a damn check. If you sign a check, that's your autograph. What you talking about? So then they're like, oh, wow. So I said, I created this platform to empower women, support women. We get celebrities, CEOs, CFOs to the woman next door, to the man next door. We want to show that we are powerful in our community. This is a diverse platform. So we bring all nationalities here, all races here, because we want to show the younger generation that there is good in people. There are good people out there. There are people making tremendous steps. So I said, I'm only doing positivity. I don't care if I have to take time to grow my platform because I'm that kind where, I can do the gossipy stuff. That's not what I want to do. I'm not entertaining that in my mind because by doing that, that's bringing down my community. I'm not trying to, I'm trying to discourage women from getting BBLs, looking like a Kim Kardashian. They trying to be us. What the hell okay, bring it down. Bring it down. That's a fact. So we don't need that. Everyone's trying to look like us growing up. Friends of mine, people would make fun of them because of their full lips. People are getting lip injections now. I want everyone watching this, love who you are. You ain't got no hair, buy some damn hair if that's what you need to make you happy. If you short, put on some heels. If you ain't got no boobs, they have those things you can stuff in your boobs. I remember my brother told me, he said he went to a club, he met this girl, and he said, Jackie, I want my money back. I said, what do you mean? Did you pay her? He said, no. She looked like a size 4. By the time we get to her house, she was a size 44. I said, what are you talking about, Chris? He said she had on all these shapers.
Oh, no.
He said, I wouldn't have minded if she was a 44 when I met her, but you know, she was so trim. He's like, she reminded me of the woman, I think I'm gonna get you sucker or something, when she took off when she took off the, you know, the arm, the head.
Oh man, no, terrible.
Yes. So I want women to love yourselves.
Yes.
Yes, improve yourself if that's what you need to do. I'm not against plastic surgery if that's what you need to do. But what I'm saying, if that's what you feel you need to do for you, not for other people, but
That's
love
right.
who you are. You know, that attorney committed suicide. It broke my
Mhm,
heart because she according to us, she's an attorney. She was Miss USA. She was living in a
mhm.
beautiful, you know, apartment, but there was some level of love in here she didn't have for herself, or
Yes.
she didn't have someone she could talk to. Her mother said she was high functioning. You knew she was high functioning. What
Mm,
needs to help? You know, because we're good at masking it as Black women because we have the S on our chest, the W. I done ripped off that damn S. I ripped off the W, unless it's women are worthy. I'm not
mhm.
saying that anymore. If I need help, I need help. Brother Rizza,
Absolutely.
I want to say this to you before we definitely tune off. I want you to make sure you take time for yourself, to replenish yourself, for self-care. Take time for you, because people gonna keep pulling. People don't give a damn. They gonna keep pulling
Yes,
because they
ma'am.
need help.
I've learned.
So you need the time to say, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. Even to me when I keep pulling on you later on, it's okay to say no. You need your time. Make sure you take that time for yourself, that quiet time, whatever it is you need to do. Take that time, my brother, because we need you. I
Mm,
said, we need you. So I need you strong, tall, and strong. You know what I'm saying? I
yes,
need
ma'am.
you to lay down. So please take time for yourself. So we want to thank everyone for tuning into the Women Are Worthy Network. Please share, share, share. You know, support the page as well, and everything that Brother Rizza Islam is doing. Please make sure you support him as well. You know, and let me know, and I'll let your team know if there's anything that you're needing. We're here to help and support because, you know, people are saying there aren't any leaders. Yes, we have leaders, but you can be a leader yourself by
That's
doing
right.
things. You know what I'm saying? Thank you,
That's right.
TJB, for saying it's a great conversation. Assalamu alaikum. I can't say it right. Assalamu
Assalamu alaikum.
alaikum. Thank you. I'm going to learn because I'm getting in
Right.
it. Candy, thank you for saying it's a great conversation. Peace, thanks. And again, my brother, if I see you doing too much, I'm going to be calling your people and balling them out. You need to take some time for yourself because you've been going nonstop from, you know, boys to
Mhm.
that beautiful lady. I can't remember her name. I love her too. Uh, you've been doing some things with her.
I'm trying to think. Yes, so many,
It's a
so many
lady,
people.
and she I can't remember her name. I think she spent some time in the pen. That
Oh yeah. Yeah. But there's a lot of those recently. That's why
yeah.
I'm trying to. It's
She has
horrible.
a big following. She's on YouTube. She has a big following on. I can't remember her
Mhm.
name now, but she has a big following on YouTube. And you and her have been doing some things. She's Vicky Dillard. Thank you,
Oh
Vicky.
yes, of course, my sister Vicky. Yes, yes.
Yes, I love when I say I
I
love.
forgot she spent time in the pen. That's why that threw me off. I forgot. Yes,
I
that's true.
love me some Vicky because we're gonna have to get her on the show too. She's just inspirational. But again,
Absolutely.
my guest is Vicky Dillard, Brandy. Again, my
Mhm.
brother, take time for yourself, for your family. You know,
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
it alive. You keeping it alive, and you made this young lady's dream come true. Thank you for being. You know, you're not just new to this; you're true to this, and I thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye,
I'm on.
everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
All right, y'all.